Sunshine and pleasant temps have led to a wide-open roof here this afternoon at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Play action now, Prescott. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. But I remember reading about, the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962. They saw Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening. But how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The Cowboys, it's 7-3 now on the year, and they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 now on the year.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Prescott. His throw incomplete.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use on paper, guys. Well, nowadays, you know, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Flush to his right. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
They'll run it with Elliott, going absolutely nowhere. They'll wind up losing a yard or two. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. Now this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And the defense closes quickly there and will get maybe a yard to the 33. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Hurts gets this to Sanders. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 27-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards. On 1st down, Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. I'll tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Following the interception, here's Prescott. And this one is incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Rashawn Gary, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs.
He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to beat it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And you get a look at the final readout on air distance, according to Next Gen Stats. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're riding a two-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
On second down, Elliott. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way down to the 39. 57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Offensively, you might be thinking, what's going on here? One for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get it back in form.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Touchdown, Cowboys! A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 10-7. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Scott on the return, out of the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Dallas Goedert, of course, he'll do well in this stadium. He's got a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
They'll run with Sanders. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Once again with Sanders. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They go to Elliott again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. 4th down. Prescott. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have the Cowboys' first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. A first down throw for Prescott. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. Second down coming up.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
2nd and 10. We're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3? This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Here's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And McManus missed it. How about that? No good. Wide to the left. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Boy, that's 3 points you really expect to have. That's nothing more than a lack of concentration to me, because an NFL kicker should make this kick in his sleep.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
And that's caught inside the 35. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And 3rd and 1 now. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He finds his man, complete. That's Watkins.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Again, that's Watkins. And some space here.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Hurts.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that is not the way you want to begin the half when you're only up by 1 score. A turnover right away.
And my guess that in the locker room, that's what the defensive coordinator on the other side was saying. We've got to find a way to get the football back for our offense. And they were able to do it.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great...
Here he goes left side. He's at the 30. 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to first and goal. Now Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Here's Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott. His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys have moved out in front here in the final minute of the third quarter. McManus's point after is good, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Eagles offense sent to begin their next drive. Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it, because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Arlington. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Micah Parsons from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43. A good pickup there, a 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Going deep here for Watkins. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as it gets this up to the 38-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess. That allows for extra yardage on the return.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
From the 44, Prescott escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
A first down carry by Elliott. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
Prescott off play action. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Eagles are right back in this football game. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Right back to Sanders on first down. And some room to roll now. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 17 yards and a first down for Phillip. They'll look to throw. It's caught by Sanders. Down inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Okay, ready?
On first and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Back to throw. And he'll be hit as as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. For the lead, here's third and goal. Back to throw. And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on fourth down.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
They're going on fourth down with Hurts. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. Charles, what a big drive late in the fourth quarter to take this lead.
And normally you're really excited if your offense has the ball late in the game. But I think this crew is really excited to have their defense go back out there because they haven't surrendered a point in the fourth quarter yet. They've helped make this comeback possible with their defensive play. Now they get a chance to finish this game off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Prescott. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL in the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime.
He's got a man complete.
And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35.
A big play there for Philly. 41 yards. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And his kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Eagles, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.